everybody. To close us out this week, we've got another Rich Girl Roundup. As a reminder, we will take listener questions every month. I'll put out a call for questions on Instagram, so follow Money with Katie if you're not already. And we will pick one that feels interesting and widely applicable, and we'll answer it. As my standard disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial professional. This is not financial advice. This is what would Katie do in your situation. Here's this week's question from Neil.
Hi, Katie. My name's Neil, and I'm calling into Rich Girl and Guy Nation from outside Philadelphia, PA. I'm 23 years old. I've recently graduated, and I'm mulling over two offers. The first is for a year-long contract with the top company in my industry that pays a third better than a full-time position with a short commute. The second is for a full-time position that has an hour-long commute but a little bit better benefits. I've come to ask, when is a contract worth more than the full-time employment? Thank you.
This is a great question, and I think the answer will be a little subjective depending on how you like to work, Neil. I have done both contract engagements and full-time engagements, and I think most of us would generally agree that the full-time employment agreements are better from a few standpoints, like access to a 401k and employer matching that you likely don't receive as a contractor, health, dental, and vision insurance, and the sense of long-term security, though if you're an at-will employee, that may be a perception that's not entirely grounded in reality. But I like that you're highlighting that the contract role pays 33% more than the full-time role, because I think people will find that's pretty common. This is because providing all of those full-time benefits costs money. For example, the Kaiser Family Foundation found the average cost to an employer to provide health insurance to an employee and their family was $16,000 in 2021. This is why I'm such a proponent of universal healthcare, as a side note, and believe it'll actually make our economy more competitive because employers won't have to bear the brunt of insuring citizens. That $16,000 is considered part of your total comp as a full-time employee, which means it's money that you're not being paid as a salary. So if I were weighing these two options myself and all else was considered equal, and by that I mean I'm equally interested in both companies and both jobs, I'd probably try to understand what the true differential is between compensation by assessing the true value of those benefits. For example, how much are you paying for health insurance as a contractor? How does the coverage compare if you can find out with respect to your deductible and your out-of-pocket maximum as a full-time employee? Like if you're putting numbers around it, for example, maybe you paid $33,000 more by the contract role and your health insurance costs to provide for yourself are $10,000 per year. Well, you're still coming out net $23,000 ahead. Same with the 401k. If you don't have access to one as a contractor and you need to use IRAs instead, you can calculate the difference in tax savings. For example, if you're in the 24% bracket and you contribute the full $20,500 to a 401k, you'll save $4,920 on your taxes, plus any matching contributions you would have received from your employer. But if you're a contractor, you'd have to use an IRA instead with a $6,000 limit, which only creates $1,440 in tax savings for a net difference of $3,480 and whatever the match would have amounted to. In this example, though, it's clear that you are still in the black as a contractor. If the pay difference is that drastic, but it'll depend, of course, on the actual numbers. The cost of your health insurance, the marginal tax bracket you're in, and whether or not you actually plan to leverage a full 401k plus the employer match, and any other monetary benefits you may have gotten from the full-time role. Being a contractor can have some benefits too, since you're hourly. They have to pay you overtime if they require you to work more, whereas a salary doesn't typically come with that perk. So thank you for the question, Neil, and I hope that helped.